We would also ask, Your Honor, that you direct.
A month ago, Jeffrey Lippert represented Thurston County in the potential case against Eric Roberts, the man who said he killed Nancy Moyer 10 years ago. Roberts later took that confession back and was never charged. Lippert returned to his role as Thurston County's chief criminal deputy until he resigned Sunday.
When he came to me with these issues, I was surprised.
County Prosecutor John Thunheim says Lippert had been in charge of day-to-day criminal operations for 2 years before coming forward last month informing Thunheim of a personal issue that was causing potential professional problems. Thunheim would not get into details, but said it had nothing to do with the Nancy Moyer case.
Most of what we were talking about was issues around internal policy, how we conduct ourselves in the office, and kind of professional confidentiality, but nothing patently unethical or illegal that I was aware of.
In his resignation letter, Lippert wrote, "Recent events in my personal life, which have affected my professional duties, have compromised my ability to serve as a leader in the office." On what appears to be his LinkedIn account, his profile lists Lippert as an experienced attorney and litigator actively seeking new opportunities. Prior to his resignation, Thunheim said Lippert had performed perfectly in the office, where Thunheim says he has high ethical expectations for his prosecutors.
Jeff had hit a point where he couldn't meet those expectations anymore, and I think he knew that too.
Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.